Welcome back to another video, guys. In today's video, we are going to be talking about our periods. So guys, if you're watching this, definitely stay because you need to learn this too. But before we get into it, obviously I want to put a little disclaimer out there that I am not a doctor, and I definitely recommend that you talk to your doctor for your specific case. One thing I also want to say is that everybody's different, like literally every body is different. So this can be you, this may not be you as well. Now, let's talk about the menstruation cycle. So in total, it lasts 28 days. And basically, it goes in a circle like this, and it starts all over again every 28 days. So first, let's break it down into 4 different phases. The first phase is menstruation, which is days 1 through 7. During this time, your progesterone and your estrogen are low. So you might be feeling a little bit more sluggish, a little bit more fatigued, and a little more tired. So during this time, I would prioritize taking it slow, being easy on your body, and giving yourself grace because you're a badass, but your body's going through a lot. Now, let's talk about diet during this time. So you're losing a lot of blood. So you're having a little less iron than normal. So having foods that are higher in iron to help compensate for that is a good thing. So having foods such as red meats, legumes, and even chicken and fish will be great. Now let's talk about training during this time. Obviously, your body is going to be a little bit more fatigued. You might feel a little bit less motivated than normal, and that's okay. And it's also very normal. So being easy and gentle on your body, and what I mean by gentle is like not beating the crap out of it like you might normally do at the gym. So doing a lot of walks, whether it's outside, whether it's in a treadmill, doing yoga, stretching, maybe a lot of foam rolling, things like that to really take care of your body. Now let's move into phase 2 of the cycle, which is the follicular phase, which is honestly just a word that I really love saying. Follicular. Follicular? Follicular. Follicular. The follicular phase is from day 8 to day 13 of your cycle. During this time, your estrogen and testosterone start to increase, which means your energy starts to increase. Training-wise, this is a perfect time for you to start implementing that strength training, those HIIT workouts, maybe even those sprints, if you're crazy and you like sprints. So during this time, I would definitely prioritize riding that energy high. You're gonna feel awesome. Your body is going to want to work hard, and it's only going to increase the more that we get into our cycle, which leads me to phase number 3, which is ovulation. This is literally when you are absolutely on fire. So this phase lasts from day 14 to day 21. During this time, this is when your estrogen and testosterone are at its peak. So you're more motivated, you have a lot of energy, and honestly, you feel way more confident and you're a little bit more daring as well. Not only with like your personal life, with like what you wear, how you speak to people, just in the gym as well, like having the confidence to lift heavier. So that kind of moves me into the training aspect of it. During this time, you are literally like on fire. You are feeling your absolute best. So this is the time where you should be pushing for those PRs at the gym. And you can do the HIIT workouts, you can do the sprints because your body can physically take it. Okay, so personally, the way that I've seen this in my own life is that literally I have seen like an intense amount of strength increase during this time to where I was like, girl, like what is up? And then when I moved into the next phase, which is phase number 4, the luteal phase, my strength starts to decrease. It doesn't mean that my strength is gone. It just literally means that my body is going through a little bit more and is feeling more fatigued. Now moving on to the 4th phase of our cycle, the luteal phase. So the luteal phase lasts from day 22 to about day 28. So this is when your estrogen plunges back down and your progesterone rises. So this is when you're going to experience the lovely PMS symptoms like headache, mood swings, increased hunger. For me, my low back starts hurting, my boobs start hurting, and I start being a little bit more on edge, if you know what I'm saying. You also are probably gonna feel a little bit less motivated, more fatigued. And me personally, during this time, I'm honestly a lot harder on myself and way more self-conscious. So one thing that I prioritize is going on social media a little bit more less during that time because I'm just honestly a little bit more sensitive. I also get really stuck in my head during this time, like overthinking things, overanalyzing things. And it's weird because we just came off of the ovulation phase. So we were feeling like confident, we were feeling like on top of the world. And then we move into the luteal phase and it feels like, oh my God, like where did all those happy hormones go? Like, oh, it's gone. So that can also contribute to just like those swings that you are feeling because you're at like a high and then your body's going through a lot now into the luteal phase. So one thing that I want to say, at least in my personal life, is that I literally like doubled my PR in the gym during my ovulation phase. And I was like, damn girls, like, yeah, feeling on top of it. And then I moved into the luteal phase and I was like, where did that all go? I couldn't do as much weight as I'd done in the previous weeks. And I was getting so like frustrated with myself. And that was honestly the reason that I was encouraged to do this video, because I was like, there has to be more to this. And as somebody that has been a woman for a long time and has been lifting for a long time, I'm like surprised that it's taken me this long to really dive in and research how training and your cycle are intertwined. So back to the luteal phase. This is when you are obviously more fatigued, your body's going through a lot. Now let's talk about training during this time. So training during this time, it would be a really good idea to take it easy on your body, do a little bit more stretching, yoga, walking. So for example, if we're using the hip thrust, say my PR is 5 plates on each side for a hip thrust, but I am in this state of feeling really sluggish and not as strong. Maybe instead I'm going to do 2 plates on each side and add a band. And then I can just focus on time under tension and really feeling the muscle. And you are still getting really good work in. Just because you're not PRing every single week doesn't mean that you're not doing a good job at the gym. Now moving on to diet during this time. So since you're gonna be feeling a little bit more bloaty, having a little bit more fiber in your diet is going to be a must. So you can either do this by adding a fiber supplement, or I encourage you to try and get as much fiber in as you can with whole foods. Things like broccoli, kale, legumes, and even whole grains. So maybe switching over to brown rice instead of white rice, because white rice is actually stripped of the fiber and brown rice has more fiber. So those are the 4 phases of your menstrual cycle. Basically, women are warriors. We have to do this every 28 days, which is nuts. So you go through each phase and then our body is getting ready to reset for the next cycle. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, I love you all so much and you are more powerful than you think.